World War II, the most destructive and deadliest war in human history. Millions of people from Germany-occupied territories were sent to Nazi concentration camps. Nazi camps had become a symbol of genocide, terror, and Holocaust. Nazi camp guards are known for their brutality and merciless. The executions of the female guards of the Stuthof camp. Stuthof was a Nazi concentration camp built by Nazi Germany in 1939 near the village of Stuthof, Free City of Danzig. The camp was established after Nazi Germany invaded Poland on 1 September 1939 and announced the incorporation of the Free City of Danzig into Germany. Stuthof was the first German concentration camp set up outside German borders during World War II. Stuthof camp was for civilian prisoners of war, later became a concentration camp in 1942. The Nazis used Stuthof prisoners as forced laborers. The Nazis converted it into an extermination camp in 1944. A total of 295 women guards worked as staff in the Stutthof complex of camps. Conditions in the camp were extremely harsh. It is estimated that between 63,000 and 65,000 prisoners of the Stuthof concentration camp and its subcamps died from starvation, executions, disease, extreme labor conditions, brutal and forced evacuations. Prisoners too weak or sick to work were gassed in the camp's gas chambers. Gerda Steinhoff, Nazi concentration camp guard. She was born on 29 January 1922 in Danzig-Langführ, Free City of Danzig. As a teenager, she worked as house servant on a farm near Danzig. From 1939, she worked in a bakery in Danzig and later became a tram conductor. She married in 1944 and had a child. The same year, due to staff shortages at the Stutthof camp, the SS began recruiting women from Danzig and surrounding towns to train as camp guards. Steinhoff voluntarily joined the SS Stutthof camp staff in 1944. On 1 October 1944, Steinhoff became a block leader in the Stutthof SK3 women's camp. She participated in the selection of prisoners to be sent to the gas chambers. On 31 October, she was promoted to senior guard and assigned to the Danzig Home subcamp. And on 1 December 1944 was reassigned to the Stutthof-Bromberg Ost female subcamp, located in Bydgoszcz, south of Danzig. Steinhoff received a medal for her loyalty and service to the Third Reich on 25 January 1945. She was devoted to her job in the camps and known as a ruthless guard. Before the end of World War II, she fled the camp and returned home. On 25 May 1945, she was arrested by Polish authorities and imprisoned. Jenny Wanda Barkmann, known as the Beautiful Spectre. She was born on 30 May 1922 in Hamburg, Weimar Republic, to a low-income family. Not much is known about her life. She spent her childhood in Hamburg, and in 1944 she became a female guard in the women's subcamp of the Stuthof concentration camp. Barkmann became famous for her exceptional brutality. She tortured prisoners, some to death. She did not hesitate to beat prisoners to death, also participated in selection of women and children for the gas chambers. Because of her cruelty, the prisoners nicknamed her the Beautiful Spectre. As the Soviet Red Army advanced, most of the SS camp guards fled the camp. Barkmann fled the Stuthof and hid for a few months. She was recognized and arrested in May 1945 while trying to escape at a railway station in Gdańsk. Elisabeth Becker, Nazi concentration camp guard. She was born on 20th July 1923 in Neuteich, Free City of Danzig, present-day Snowy Stow, Poland, to a German family. In 1936, at the age of 13, she joined the League of German Girls. The League of German Girls was the girls' wing of the Nazi Party youth movement the Hitler Youth. In 1938, she became a cook in Danzig. Nazi Germany invaded Poland in 1939. Germany annexed most of western Poland and Danzig. Becker successfully adapted to the new situation. She began working for the Dockendorf firm in Neuteich, where she worked from 1940 to 1941. Later became an agriculture assistant in Danzig. The SS needed more guards at the nearby Stuthof concentration camp in 1944. Becker was called in for concentration camp service. She arrived in Stuthof on 5 September 1944 and began training as an SS Aufseherin. She later worked in the women's subcamp SK3 of the Stuthof concentration camp, where she personally selected women and children for the gas chamber. Becker fled the camp on January 15, 1945, and returned to her home Neuteich. She had worked at Stuthof camp for 4 months. 3 months later, on April 13, she was arrested by Polish police. Wanda Klaff, Nazi concentration camp guard. She was born on March 6, 1922 in Danzig to German parents as Wanda Klasinski. She finished school in 1938 and worked in a jam factory until 1942. In the same year, 1942, she married Willy Klaff and became a housewife. In 1944, she joined the Stuthof concentration camp staff as a guard at Stuthof's Prost subcamp, where she abused many of the camp prisoners. On October 5, 1944, she moved to the Rusichin subcamp in Stuthof. Even there, she continued to abuse the prisoners. She was described as sadistic abuse of prisoners. When the Soviet Red Army made a rapid advance on the Stuthof, Klaff fled the camp in early 1945. After the end of the war, on June 11, 1945, Klaff was arrested by Polish authorities and sent to prison. 13 former guards and kapos of the Stutthof concentration camp, including Wanda Barkmann, Elisabeth Becker, Wanda Klaff, Gerda Steinhoff, were tried in the first Stuthof trial in Poland. During the trial, the former SS female guards giggled and joked. They didn't care about the charges on them. Steinhoff showed no remorse. Instead, she made jokes. Barkmann was still concerned with her appearance. She did different hairstyle every day and was apparently seen arranging her hair while hearing testimony. She is said to have flirted with her prison guards, giggled through the trial. It is said that Klaff stated at the trial, "I'm very intelligent and very dedicated to my work in the camps. I struck at least 2 prisoners every day." 13 were convicted of crimes against humanity, and 11 were sentenced to death, and 2 to various terms of imprisonment. After the sentence was announced, all of them pleaded not guilty to the charges. Some of the convicted former camp staff cried and pleaded for their life. Only Jenny Barkmann remained calm and said, "Life is indeed a pleasure, and pleasures are usually short." Becker pleaded not guilty to the charges. She sent several letters to Polish President Boleslaw Bierut, requesting a pardon, claims that her actions were not as serious as those of co-defendants Gerda Steinhoff or Wanda Barkmann. No pardon was issued. On 4 July 1946, Wanda Barkmann, Elisabeth Becker, Wanda Klaff, Gerda Steinhoff, and 7 others were publicly executed by short rope hanging method at the Biskupia Górka in Gdańsk. Thousands of people came to watch the execution. The noose around their neck and were pushed out of the truck. Former Stuthof prisoners volunteered to serve as executioners. Wanda Barkmann was the first to be executed. She was 24 years old. Paradies was the last of the women to be executed. For humanitarian reasons, authorities soon avoided further public executions. Our channel, ThePastQuest. We only post videos about history. If you find our video interesting, then like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.